When we first approached Paul McCartney to do this, our designer, we hadn't picked our director yet, actually. We picked our designer first. It's a little unusual. Usually you do it the other way around. But designer Leslie Travers had a pre-existing relationship with Paul McCartney. Leslie teaches nearly every year at the Liverpool Institute for the Performing Arts, LIPA, which is a school that Paul McCartney has been very supportive of over the years. He helped found it, actually, and continues to support it mightily financially. So Leslie had taught at LIPA and got to meet Paul on more than one occasion. So he was our first choice. This is someone who knows Liverpool and would create a set and costumes for us. And in order to get McCartney's permission, we had to send him an idea of, well, what were we going to do? So Leslie came up with a very clever idea. Since this piece starts out as a concert piece, why don't we recreate a concert setting on the stage and then slowly but surely sort of blow it up and scenes pop out of the risers or out of the floor, and then it eventually becomes the setting of the places in the story. I always thought it was really clever. But then we engaged our director, a wonderful woman from Manchester. She is, as she calls herself, a proud Lancashire lass, which means she's from the north, Caroline Clegg. And Caroline and Leslie got together and they said, you know what? This piece, although it is a universal piece, has Liverpool running through it, just like the River Mersey runs through the city, like the Ohio River runs through Cincinnati. And so they came up with the brilliant idea of, let's not do something clever. Let's do something heartfelt, since Liverpool is everywhere in this story. And so it was they who came up with the idea that the set is now basically an enormous map of Liverpool circa 1942, when the story starts. And it flows from the upper, or from your view as an audience member, from your upper left corner of your vision, all the way through the main part of the set and down over your right side, which we call stage left, almost into the pit. And it's this enormous map that has been reproduced on a flooring of Liverpool. And then all the scenes of the opera, and I'm going to call it an opera from now on, all the scenes of the opera take place on the map. Chairs come in for the schoolroom scene. Those chairs, deftly, when they lift up the lids of the chairs, become the graveyard, the headstones. Hospital beds are brought in for the climactic scene where Mary D. almost dies. There is a house that represents the house of Mary D. and Shanty that comes on basically and off. So this making Liverpool at the center was an evolution, also fueled by an amazing visit that we all had as a creative team to Liverpool a year ago in August. We decided that our director, our designer, and our choreographer, Michael Papalardo, our lighting designer, Thomas Hassi, and I needed to put our feet on the ground. We needed to feel what the city was like, this city that inspired this piece. So we went there for a couple days, walked all over the city, and two things really struck us that have become part of the production. One is an iconic bird. It's a mythical bird called the lifer bird. The lifer bird is a little bit like the ravens in the Tower of London. The legend is if the lifer bird ever leaves Liverpool, Liverpool will fall. And that's the same with the ravens. If they ever leave the Tower of London, England will fall, right? So the lifer bird is very, very important to the city of Liverpool. It's been a symbol for them in times of stress. It stands, a reproduction of it stands, it doesn't exist, but they've made something that looks like a bird that they call the lifer bird, but it's on the top of one of the most iconic buildings near the waterfront in downtown Liverpool. And the other thing that inspired us, almost in the line of sight of that sculpture on the top of the building, was a beautiful recent sculpture commemorating the Blitz of Liverpool in World War II. We have to remember that Liverpool was bombed almost as badly as London. It just doesn't get written about as much. Liverpool was devastated because it was the principal port city of England for industrial goods. Portsmouth may have been the main passenger terminal, as it were, but Liverpool was the main commercial terminal. So the Nazis really wanted to devastate Liverpool. So one of the most beautiful sculptures is a spiral staircase made of iron with a mother beseechingly standing at its base and a child at the top of the staircase, almost at the top of the staircase with an airplane in his hand, representing, of course, the aspiration for peace and the security of the child, and the airplane representing the RAF, which, of course, beat back the Nazis. So both of those images become part of our production. tying it even more to the city of Liverpool.